Hey everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to T Accounts. So in this video we'll be discussing the difference between bookkeeping and accounting, or should I say the tasks carried out by a bookkeeper and an accountant. So let's begin with bookkeeping. What is bookkeeping? Bookkeeping is basically recording all the transactions of the business. The detailed recording of the transactions is called bookkeeping, and that process is carried out by a bookkeeper. So now let's see what are the tasks. So what is the job of a bookkeeper? So number one is bookkeeper prepares the books of original entry from source documents. Source documents, there are various source documents. For instance, for purchases, there is purchase invoice, there is sales invoice, there are debit credit notes, there are checks. So all these source documents are prepared by the bookkeeper, and these facilitate in the preparation of books of original entry. These are the books in which a transaction is recorded for the first time. So this initial entry is made by the bookkeeper related to any transaction, be it of current assets, be it of a check received from a debtor, purchase of non-current asset either on credit or on cash, bad debts, etc., etc. All the double entries are first recorded in their books of original entry from the source documents, and that is carried out by the bookkeeper. And then from the books of original entries or from the day books, they are then posted to the ledgers. Ledgers are, we know that there are three types of ledgers, right? There is a sales ledger, a purchases ledger, and a general ledger. So in these three ledgers there are specific accounts. So they are posted, the entries are posted from the day books to the ledgers by the bookkeeper. So he is the one recording the transaction for the first time, then he is the one making the double entries in the T accounts as well. And thirdly, he is the one who also prepares a trial balance. A trial balance is prepared after the preparation of all the T accounts. Then they are balanced off, and the balances extracted become part of the trial balance, that is a debit and a credit column. And ideally this trial balance should balance providing that there are no errors in the T accounts, right? So bookkeeper records the transactions, he then posts them in the T accounts, and he is the one who balances all the T accounts so that a trial balance could be prepared, and that is also prepared by the bookkeeper. So his job finishes over here. Now comes the work of an accountant. Now what does accountant do, or what is actually accounting? So accounting first of all involves identifying financial information. What do I mean by identifying? For instance, what information should become part of the financial statements, what shouldn't, what is material, what isn't, what can be omitted, what can't be omitted. Then measuring financial information. For instance, by how much have my sales grown in the current year, by how much should I cut down my expenses so that I can become more profitable, etc., etc. So this interpretation is also done by the accountant, and this happens in accounting. Then he is summarizing financial information. For instance, if it has to be presented in the form of a report to the relevant stakeholders, that is also done, that is also prepared, that information is prepared by the accountant. And then lastly, to communicate the financial information again to the relevant stakeholders, for instance to the management or to the shareholders. So this is accounting. What was bookkeeping? It was recording, detailed recording of all the financial information or the transactions of the business. Accounting is identifying, measuring, interpreting, communicating, summarizing the information. So this is basically more towards decision making, so that relevant decisions can be taken. Right, now let's have a look at the task carried out by an accountant. So what did we see in bookkeeping? That the bookkeeper prepares the trial balance. Now after the preparation of trial balance, the task of accountant starts, and that is, first of all, he prepares the financial statements from the bookkeeping records, right? So the financial statements, of course, the information that we present in the financial statements, these are statement of profit or loss, which was previously called income statement, statement of financial position, and statement of cash flows, or you can say that statement of changes in equity as well, which comes in company accounts. So these financial statements are prepared by the accountant, and that is highly dependent upon the information provided by the bookkeeper. So if that is accurate, financial statements can be accurate. Then he is the one who prepares reports at regular intervals, maybe monthly or after 3 months, after every 4 months. That is again prepared by the accountant. He summarizes the information so that it can be presented to the, for instance, to the banks, to the management, in front of the shareholders, right? So the communication part comes over here. And he also interprets the accounting records. Interpretation is mostly done in the form of ratios, right? What is the rows, how much has it decreased in the current year, how can we improve the GP margin, how can we increase our current ratio. So that is all interpretation, and that is done by the accountant. Lastly, he is the one who compares the company's performance with its own years, previous few years, or with the competitor's performance, so that again relevant decision making can be done, which is profitable or which is more beneficial for the business in the future years, right? So this is what an accountant do. Now let's quickly recall that what have we studied so far, that bookkeeping is mostly related to the detailed recording of transactions, whereas accounting is more about decision making, right? Interpreting and summarizing, measuring, identifying, analyzing, right? So what are the key words for bookkeeping? That it records the data, or should I say the transactions, the posting from from the day books to the T accounts, or the preparation of trial balance, that is the recording. However, for accountant, you might see that this topic is mostly tested in paper 1, right, of O level, IGCSE, and A level AS. So for accountant, the terms that are mostly tested are identification, or identifies, or summarizes, and measures, or interprets the information, right? Communicates as well. Now let's test our understanding through some past paper questions. So the first one is, a business employs a bookkeeper and an accountant. Very good. Which task does the accountant perform? Okay, so the task performed by the accountant. Accountant. We have to look for the accountant task. Option number A, extracting balances from the ledger accounts to produce a trial balance. No, that is not the task of an accountant. That is the task of a bookkeeper. Then making a journal entry to record the credit sale of a non-current asset. Making a journal entry, no, that is also bookkeeper. What would be the journal entry? Non-current asset account credit and disposal account debit. So that would be recorded in the general journal, and that will be done by the bookkeeper. Preparing monthly report that analyzes the profitability of the company. This is being performed by the accountant. Monthly report, yes, so that he can analyze the profitability of the company. Yes, this is the job of an accountant, not of the bookkeeper. Bookkeeper is mainly doing the recording work. Then recording, after option D is, or recording sales and purchases invoices in the books of prime entry. Again, the job of a bookkeeper. So option C is correct. Next question, which task would be carried out by a bookkeeper? Now we have to look for the bookkeeper job. Okay, option A, comparison of financial statements between years. Nope, we have just seen that that is the job of an accountant, right? Comparing performance, that is accountant's job. Then preparation of financial statements, again accountant. Trial balance is prepared by the bookkeeper, not the financial statements. Okay. C is provision of information for decision making, again accountant. That means option D is recording financial transactions. Yes, that is the job of a bookkeeper. Third, which actions are examples of bookkeeping? Bookkeeping. 1. Entering details of a check received from a customer in the cash book. Recording a transaction in the cash book. The cash book is what? A day book. And I am recording a check. So that is the job of a bookkeeper, right? Recording the transaction in the book of original entry. So yes, that is the job of a bookkeeper. Then second is entering details of goods purchased on credit in the purchases journal. Entering details of goods purchased on credit. All the goods purchased on credit are recorded in the purchases journal, which is another day book. So recording transactions in the day book is the job of a bookkeeper. So yes, this is also right. Then Third is producing an income statement to calculate profit for the year. Ooh, no. Producing an income statement, that is the job of an accountant, because financial statements are prepared by accountants. So this can't be right. 4 is recording details of credit sales in the account of credit customer. Yes, recording credit sales in the account, that is crediting sales and debiting customer accounts. So again, making a journal entry, posting entries from the daybooks to the ledgers, bookkeeper job. So 1, 2 and 4, option B. Last, why does the accountant of a business analyze its financial statements? Okay, so this is not the question is not related to the job of either it is of bookkeeper or an accountant. This is the question is, why does the accountant analyze the business's financial statements? What is the reason behind analyzing, right? So the question itself is saying that the accountant will analyze, but why? Number 1, option A is to provide information for the customers. Does the accountant look at the financial statements, analyze them, studies them, interprets them so that it can be presented in front of the customers? No. Why would he present the business's financial statements in front of the customers? No. Second is to provide information for the government. No, government is mostly concerned with just tax. So the accountant won't be analyzing the performance of the business so that it can be presented to the government. The government won't be taking any decision for the company, for the betterment of the company. No. So why would it be presented or provided to the government? No. Next is to provide information for the managers. Yes, this is right. Option D is suppliers. Again, no. The suppliers won't be deciding the strategies, the targets, the deadlines to be met by the company or by the company's employees. That will all be decided by the managers. So the accountant will study, will analyze, will present, will communicate the financial information to the managers so that relevant decisions can be taken timely. So option C is correct, right? I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please make sure that you like the video and you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one with another concept. Allah Hafiz.